Hey, what's up guys? So in this video, I'm going to teach you a really cool way to do an in-the-hands transpo of two cards. In case you don't know what a transpo is, it's basically when you have two cards in two separate positions and they somehow, by means of magic or something else, change places without you doing so physically. Well, so it seems. This handling is sort of a changed variation of the original TiVo Transpo by Dan and Dave Buck. So let's stop talking and get right into it. Okay, so what I'll do here is show you what the trick looks like and then I will teach it to you, okay? But also I will show you two different versions of this trick. One uses a move and the other is a way to do it completely clean, eliminating at least one move, alright? This is what the trick looks like. So basically, you have somebody just say stop as you go through cards like this. As soon as they do, you show them their card. In this case, the Queen of Clubs. We'll put it right there. Now, the top card obviously is not your card, it's the Two of Hearts. But maybe we can take that top card and wave it over that Queen like this. And you can see it just changes instantly into that Queen. Now, if the Queen is here, that must mean that right in the middle is that Two of Hearts. Alright, so there are three moves in this little trick. Of course, the one that will come after eliminates one of them for a super clean finish, okay? So this is what's happening in the trick here. So you want to start out by getting a pinky break above the bottom two cards. You can do that by simply doing a pinky pull down like this. Easy way to do this, guys, is just bevel the deck like this into the meaty part of your hand like this by pushing the deck with your fingers into it there. That makes it very easy now to just grab two cards as you riffle down with your pinky like this. And you can just feel two cards. It takes a little bit of practice, but this pinky pull down move, I think, has a lot of advantages that you should probably practice. It's very good for a lot of things. Now that we've established our pinky break on the bottom two cards, what you're going to do now is just get a card chosen in the middle, maybe by swing cutting about a quarter of the deck into your hand like this, and just going through cards and saying, as I do this, just say stop anytime, aiming towards the middle of the deck, right? And by the way, when you do this, when you transfer the deck into your billow grip hand like this, you just want to transfer that pinky break into a thumb break, keeping that separation now with your thumb like this. So the thumb break is being held, you're doing this, asking them to say stop. As soon as they do, what's going to happen now is you're going to make it look like you put their card in the middle of the deck, but of course you switch it for a different card. And this is called the tip over switch. And what happens here, you take the tips of your fingers and you pretty much slide this card forward, the one they stopped on, right? Like this, and you're going to show it like this and point to it. But before you do that, of course, you unload those two cards so you have a break above like this right on top of there. And that's very easy to do. You can either just simply drop them on like this, or what I normally do is just grasp it with my free pinky here like this right off the bottom. I just click it right down on top of there, as at the same time you'd go to turn your wrist to show their card. Okay, so just like this, those cards are added as you turn the packet over. Now you say, remember this card here. Now what's going to happen, it's going to look like you simply deal that card over, but of course what actually takes place here is this. So you're like this, remember that card. They don't see this, obviously, right? You see, remember that card. At this point, when your wrist is still turned over, you just simply push that card in. At the same time, as soon as it's flush, turn the hand over like this and deal that card off with your thumb, just like this at the same time, okay? So now, you just rest this card on this packet and put these on top. This results in just a random card in the middle, and their card second from the top now. So you say, look, I know your card isn't the top card, but we can use it as like a wild card, right? And at this point, you're going to simply lift up two cards back to back. You can either do this by, I know this card is not your card, and just simply push this card over and get a pinky break below it, as you replace that on there and just pick 2 cards up as one like this. You're going to do the twirl change or the pirouette change, okay, in a minute, and you just need 2 cards back to back, a random card and their chosen card, okay? So any way you want to pick up 2 cards is fine, all right? I typically just do this. Remember, I know the 5 isn't your card, but maybe we can use it here in a minute. I just simply pick up from the back 2 cards. That's how I do it. They don't know the difference, okay? So now, say, look, I know the 5 isn't yours, but maybe we can use this 5 to wave it over and your card just like this. Now, here's a little tip on the pirouette change. I see a lot of people doing like this, bending the card. Completely unnecessary. I think that makes it look worse, okay? So a good tip is to just keep it as flat as possible. A very light touch, okay? So basically what you're doing is holding the card by the corners with your middle finger and your thumb just like this. I'm left-handed, so I hold it on the non-index corners, but since you're right-handed, probably you'll hold it on the index corners like this, okay? So your index finger will just be on the side of the card like this, okay? Just like that. And that's what you want. Now for the change, what happens, of course, all that's happening here is that you're just flipping the card over, or you're flipping that double card over like this with your index finger. Now, there's a good way and a bad way to do this, okay? So what I find really disguises this is as you're shaking like this, notice how pretty much my whole hand is covering the card, okay? So if you do it right here, sometimes they can see the twirl happen, but if you're right here, look at that. There's really pretty much no flash of a twirl happening. So if you're shaking like this, right, it simply looks like it just changes like right here, but really on the crank back, on the crank back, you'll just simply flip it with your index finger like this, 180 degrees, okay? So instead of, don't do it right here, don't do it in the middle, do it on the crank back closest to your body. So when you're shaking and you're doing it kind of fast, do it towards your body, and it looks like the card doesn't, it looks like no flip has happened. But as soon as you do it, you want to keep shaking, all right? Don't stop shaking as when you do it. That gives it the illusion that it just changed, and simply just slow it down after the change is just put it on top. Now you're left clean for the change. Now, to make it look like the random card is in the middle, you're going to do Dan and Dave's version of an old Jay Sankey move, okay? So, what happens is this. So, you say, oh, the 7 is now on top. That must mean that the 5 is in the middle. And what you're going to do here is simply, with your thumb, put it, towards the back of the deck. And all that's going to happen here, you just push it up like this to an angle close to that card, right? At the same time, though, you're going to push in this card with your index fingers. This is a stop motion view of what's happening here, just like this. So it's sort of like, the ambitious riser move almost, in a way, right? So you're like this, and you're just like this, boom, just like that. But to hide that, there's 2 ways you can hide it. One being the card itself serving as cover. All right, so I normally just put the card like above this to cover my index finger motion like this. That way, nothing suspicious is happening there. They can't see anything because of that card cover. But also, the wrist turning action, disguises and hides that move through like this. Boom, just like that. But it's really just on top. But it looks like it's the same card. It's like a retention of vision. So putting that all together, you're shaking like this, right, for the change. Boom, 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 and it changes. All right, keep shaking. Remember, put it on top. Remove it. I like to do like a little twirl. If that's the 7, then in the middle, and right here I'm setting up for my index finger move by hiding that front of the deck, and I'm like this. Boom. Normally I just do this too to further hide it. The whole time I'm just using this card to shade the dirty work, right? Now, to make it also to sell it even further, what you need to do is don't just do this, because that might look kind of obvious. So a good idea, a nice touch, is to, how would it look like if you actually pulled out the card? It would look something like that, right? You actually have to pull it out. So why not emulate that with the fake thing, right? So you're like this, using that card as the cover. Now I put that down, and I'm here. That's the top card, right? Still. And I'm like this. Right, I pull it all the way as if I'm really doing it out of the middle, right? And it's just a good selling point. So I promised you a super clean version, and this is what that looks like. I'll just do it real quick for you, and then I'll break it down for you. All right, so we can go like this. Just say stop anytime as I do this. They say stop maybe right here. Show them the card. It's the 8 of hearts. We'll put that right there. And I know your card, not the top card, is a joker, which is usually a wild card, right? But if we take the joker, just give it like a little shake, like this. It looks like your card, the 8 of hearts. So if that's the 8 right there, and of course that wild card, the joker, is in the middle of the deck. Okay, so obviously this uses a duplicate card, and using a joker, if you have a deck that has matching jokers, even better because it works. Because the whole, this is a wild card, right? Because the jokers are wild, so I like to do that sometimes. Now, sometimes when I'm doing this, and I don't feel like getting a break on the bottom cards with my pinky like this, I'll just do an overhand shuffle. All right, just run these two cards, the top two cards, the jokers to the bottom of the deck, of course, in jogging the second one like this as I do so. That way it's very simple now for me to just push down on that second from bottom card with my thumb like this and get my break that way. I'm already prepared for the thumb break move, right? So we're like this, boom, boom, boom. Remember that card, the 6, I'll put it right there. Now, the joker is already there, right? It's just the joker. So the other joker's, of course, on top. So just do your change like this. Remember, like this, that we talked about, like that. And then, of course, everything is done. You don't have to do that move anymore because it's already in the middle.